This story is one of the few ones that left an unerasable mark on the world of high-stakes gambling. This is the story of a man who was born into wealth and went from being a thriving businessman to a man who lost over $200 million on a trip to Las Vegas. Today, we are diving into the story of Terence Watanabe and the dark side of casino life. How fun and excitement can turn into a loss you could have never imagined. Born in 1957 in Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Watanabe's family was filled with successful entrepreneurs. His father, Harry Watanabe, was the owner of the Oriental Trading Company, one of the most successful carnival suppliers in the history of America. Terence started working for his father when he was just 15 years old, and when he turned 20, he was promoted to the CEO of the company. During his tenure, the company bloomed and started focusing on party products. It grew from 17 local stores to a business that generated $25 million per month. However, the dedication that Terence was putting into business took its toll on him. When he was 43, Terence was burnt out, and so in October of 2000, he decided to sell his share of the company. He wanted a fun retirement and to be at peace, so he created the Terry K. Watanabe Charitable Trust. He also donated millions to AIDS and cancer research and other political causes. He even purchased a luxurious mansion in Omaha featuring 9 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen, a custom wine cellar, and a 3-story elevator. However, he still did not feel fulfilled and wanted to do something more. And so came the point when Terence turned to gambling. He started by frequently visiting the Caesars Horseshoe Casino in Council Bluffs, Iowa. To him, money was disposable, and so he started spending more and more on gambling. After all, it was a thrill that he could not deny. And so he became one of the top customers of the casino. The casino host saw his relentless love for gambling and his never-ending money and encouraged him to go play in Las Vegas. Terence's life had always been about business and work. He never had the time for personal relationships. He never married and never even had any significant romantic relationships. It was this isolation that was a major reason for his gambling interest. He found solace that he had never had before, the companionship he never found in people, and he found it in the cards and gambling tables of the casinos. Even wealth did not fill the void that gambling was filling for him. By 2005, Terence was a frequent visitor of the Las Vegas casinos. His favorite was Caesars Palace because the casino executives there catered to him as a high roller should be catered. They gave him luxurious incentives, including tickets to exclusive events, a monthly airfare allowance, and even $500,000 credit at their gift stores. They even made a new loyalty program tier just for him called the Chairman. It was at Caesars Palace that Terence's gambling habits got out of control. He was allowed to play 3 blackjack hands simultaneously with a $50,000 limit for each hand. He would stay at the tables for 24 hours and even lost as much as $5 million in a single session. Despite hefty losses, the casino kept giving him extravagant perks, and he became famous for his generosity, as he would hand out large amounts of money to casino staff and patrons. Terence's gambling was now an addiction, which was made worse by his alcohol problem. His favorite drink was Jewel of Russia vodka, and the casino staff served him 2 to 3 bottles per day. His addiction was so severe that he would fall asleep at the casino table, or even stumble across the casino floors. However, the casino didn't stop serving him because whatever he was losing, they were gaining. They never even offered him to take breaks either. All throughout his time in Vegas, Terence's lifestyle became extremely extravagant. He was living in a 3-bedroom suite at Caesars Palace and had all of the amenities that a high roller gets. He had his favorite bartender available at all times and a 7-course meal from the casino's Bradley Ogden restaurant, which was delivered right where he was gambling. The staff loved him. He would randomly give out bundles of $100 bills, which summed up to $20,000 to Caesars employees. He also bought extravagant gifts for the casino staff, including thousands of Tiffany boxes filled with $50 gift cards or $100 gift coins. In one incident, he even sent a security guard to a supermarket to buy every cut of steak, which he then distributed amongst the casino employees. He quickly garnered praise as the most generous high roller in all of Las Vegas, but this was the facade that he put up to mask his gambling problem and its severity. In 2007, Terence's family decided to intervene in this problem. During Thanksgiving, he revealed to them that he had lost $127 million in that year. However, the casino was still extending him credit and even gave him a $17 million loan. By January of 2008, he had to sell his mansion in Omaha for $2.66 million. However, it was too late. He was bankrupt, and he still owed the casino $14.7 million. Now, losing so much money has its own mental toll on a person that it is not explainable. By the time he had lost everything, he was so deeply addicted to gambling and alcohol that he had isolated himself from even the family and friends that he had. Now, Terence wanted to fight back. He claimed that the casino had taken advantage of his addiction. They were continuously giving him alcohol and prescription drugs to keep him gambling. He even filed a lawsuit against Caesars Palace, claiming they not only allowed but encouraged his behavior. The casino in turn launched criminal proceedings against him for the unpaid debt. If they won, Terence would face 28 years in prison. In the end, both parties dropped their lawsuit. However, the damage was already done. Of course, Terence could never recover his life. In 2017, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And at this point, he was struggling financially so much that he had to set up a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for his treatment. He wanted to move forward and share his story with the world, but the losses he had incurred from his own mistakes always haunted him. On the casino industry, of course, he left a lasting impact. His story showed the ethical dilemma surrounding casinos and how they treat the high rollers with gambling addictions to squeeze profits out of them. Since then, casinos have been more careful about how they treat high rollers, and stricter policies have been implemented throughout to ensure something similar does not happen again. Terence tried his best to rebuild what he had lost. In 2020, he joined Twitter to share more about his story and wanted to use his experience to help other people avoid making the same mistakes. The generous part of him was never truly defeated. His generosity is often forgotten when we talk about Terence. Terence's decline began with not being satisfied with what he had in the charitable ventures he was taking part in. His downfall came from greediness, addiction, and spending in excess. He is a reminder that a life of luxury and success can quickly become one of loss and regret. There is a very fine line between thrill and addiction, and you should always try to be on the better end of this line. Now, what do you think of Terence's story? Was his addictions just his fault? Or did the casino play a role as well? Let us know down in the comments.